Hello, everybody. We are waiting on one student. He's coming in, but I apologize for the late start. We are so excited to be here for a USET and our student panel. We have lovely kiddos from Nebo and from Murray. My name is Corey Brooks. I am from Text Help. We are a sponsor of USET. I used to be a teacher for 13 years. Now I'm in ed tech. And I'm super excited, again, to be here and honor our students and our teachers who teach them. With that, I'm going to get it over to Amber, right from the USBE Utah.
Thank you for coming to our session. I'll just introduce myself really quick so we can get to kiddos. But my name is Amber Wright. I work for the Utah State Board of Education, and I am our Digital and Instructional Materials Specialist. Very long title. But basically, I help with our software initiatives, our digital teaching and learning team, and get to help educators around the state implementing our DTL program and what that looks like for them in their schools. So that is me.
Okay, so we are really going to be talking today about universal design for learning. But first, what we want to do is introduce our kiddos, and we're going to have them do it for themselves. If we can go ahead and put up that slide, that would be great. All right, so why don't we start with you, because I know you're excited to chat.
Hi, my name is Giovanna. My favorite color is purple, and my favorite animal is lion. And yeah, done.
Hi, my name is Luciana, and my favorite color is black, and my favorite animal is cats.
Hello, my name is Bella, and my favorite things to do is using my iPhone and play outside and stuff.
Hi, my name is Estefano. My favorite subject on school is math and science.
Me? Oh, I'm one of the kiddos. I'm Missy Hamilton. I am the Director of Elementary Teaching and Learning at Murray City School District. So thank you all for being here. I'm excited for you to learn from the kids.
My name is Eric Schwobe. I'm a special educator in Nebo School District, and I've come up here to support Bella in her pursuit of educational excellence.
Okay, so as we're going through this, Text Help is very connected to universal design for learning. It's kind of a big thing that we've been doing throughout the sessions at USET and will continue. And so if we can get to the next slide, we're going to just be overviewing just really slightly, how we connect and why we are so connected to Utah. Really, it's all about universal design for learning and inclusive education. And we feel very strongly about giving all students choice in how they learn and how they access content. Beyond that, next slide, please. Thank you. Universal design for learning, firm goals and flexible paths. So we want to have those strong outcomes, right? All those outcomes should be the same, those firm goals, but how we get there is going to be different depending on every student, right? So we want to make sure that we are having students access content in the independent ways that they need. Flexible groupings and seatings, and then really it's all about what are you learning, how are you learning it, and how are you going to show us that we're learning it. And so really today with the panel, we're going to be talking about that, and we hope that you understand through the eyes of our students on the panel how they access content and how it's helped them grow as learners. Okay, I kind of already did this one, so we can pass this one. We'll go quickly through this so we can get to the good stuff. And our students already told you about themselves, favorite color, favorite subject. But one thing that we didn't answer is What's your plan for after high school?
I want to be on the army or be a teacher.
I'm going to work with Corey after high school.
I want to be a teacher after high school.
Get it, Giovanna, get it.
After high school, I want to be almost everything in the world, like a vet, a doctor, not a teacher because I don't have the special things that teacher have. Yeah, I don't have patience. Or a chef, cooker chef, and yeah, that's all.
Love it, thank you.
All right, we will move into our first question for our panel. So our first question is, what is hard for you at school and why? And we'll start with Luciana on this one.
Oh.
Yep.
It was hard.
Really close to your mouth.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
It was hard when I came here to United States. I was not speaking English, and then I can communicate with people or with the teachers or do something because I don't understand or then I'm not speak. But now I speak and then I understand. And
Thank you. Go next.
Yes. What's the question again?
What's hard for you at school and why?
The hardest thing in this school for me is making friends because, yeah, it's because I didn't have I just have one friend because she speaks Brazilian. Like, she speaks Portuguese like me. So that means that she have the same thing that me have, like hard to talk in English sometimes. So that's why we are friends, best friends, I mean.
Thank you.
What's hard for me is waking up early every day, and it's hard. Why? Because it's probably be myself sometimes. It gets harder
Why is that hard, Bella?
because I don't feel good about myself sometimes, so I have to try and figure it out.
Stefano?
The hard thing for me is science because when I came from my groups, I don't have time to write all of it, so I need to do all the things fast. And when I do that, I don't have too much time. I just have 15 minutes, but I don't write too fast.
You know what I just realized too is that Luciana, Giovanna, and Stefano are all from 3 different countries, and they moved here when you were in school, right? So Stefano, where are you from?
Venezuela.
Can you say that louder?
I am from Venezuela.
And what about you, Luciana?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia?
Yeah.
And Giovanna?
I think I already told you.
That's okay. But they don't
I'm
know.
from Brazil.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Next question, and this kind of ties into what you're talking about, I think. What tools do you use to help you learn? Stefano, do you want to go first? No? Okay. Luciana.
Yeah.
Hold it really close to your mouth so they can.
I use the purple puzzle piece because helps me like to understand what I mean. like I need to read something and then I don't understand, so I translate it and then for this, and then helps me like to understand it. And then when I not understand it, I search over there and then I know what is.
I use my phone and use the mic, so it helps me to use my voice so I know what I'm saying, and it's better than typing in the computer. Socializing? My computer. Yes, my computer at school. Typewriting.
So do you talk into it and then it types it out, right? Is that what you do? And how does that make you communicate better? Does it help you gather your thoughts better? I remember you telling me that.
Can I add something? Yeah, go for it. So with Bella, she's very, very active in our reading groups, yeah? And she has a lot of things to say about the books we read. But she's not always able to write them down on a piece of paper or to turn them into the teacher who grades them, right? So what do you do instead?
So our teacher said Jennifer, so I just turn it into her and emails. Know what I'm thinking.
What's in your head?
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. And then Giovanna, I know you're ready.
Yeah, I'm always ready. What's the question again?
Yeah, so what tools do you use to help you learn?
The purple, the purple piece.
The purple puzzle piece?
Yeah.
What does it do for you? What do you do with the purple puzzle piece?
The purple puzzle piece, like when my teacher asked me like to write a story in my Chromebook, I just like a story about dolphins. And then I just like, I know something about dolphins, but I don't know how to spell it in English. So I just used the tools.
And how does it help you?
Does it tell you how to spell it?
Yeah, it tells me how to spell it and help me with everything, with everything, like, not everything, not eating, but everything that I need to do at class.
All right, Stefano, do you have any other thoughts?
So I don't use the purple puzzle piece. I listen to the words to learn it, and I use my brain to say every word I want to say or to tell to somebody.
Thank you.
I think what's really critical with all four of these students' stories is that they found a tool that allows them to access the curriculum, right? And then they're able to manipulate it in meaningful ways for them, right? Each one of them, either they use the writing piece of the read and write, the purple puzzle piece. It doesn't help them eat, but it certainly allows them to access the curriculum for them.
Thank you, Missy.
Okay, let's move on to our next question. So our next question is going to specifically be for our Murray kids. What tools have you used that help you learn and communicate in English, and how have they helped you? Stefano's going to do this one first.
First, I don't use tools, so my friends help me sometimes. When it was my first day of school, my friends helped me, and it was just my first day of school. I didn't know how to speak English. So when they was helping me, I learned a little words to say and to say it for my teacher if I need to do something or whatever.
And then how have you been able to learn English so well now?
Because first, when I learn by reading or by hearing the words.
Thanks.
Good job.
I use like when I was here, I have a friend that name is Esther, and then she speaks so much language. Then she helps me like to understand and to do like works of the school. And to the like one day I moved to other school, and the other school all the people speak English, so I need to speak English to communicate it. So I learned like that English and helped me because I need to speak English to communicate with. If I don't speak English, I can't communicate with or do like something.
Are there some things that helped you learn English?
Yeah,
Like what?
like the puzzle piece and my computer.
How does your computer help you learn English?
Because I translate it and help me
Say that one
understand
more
it.
time. Say it one more time.
Because I translate it to Spanish and then I read it first in English and then to Spanish. Then I was understanding.
Okay, go ahead, Giovanna.
Yay. What's the question again?
How have tools helped you learn and communicate in English?
The things that help me is my computer.
What do you do on your computer that helps you?
Because if I don't have my computer, I can't go to the purple piece because it's in the computer. So how I do it then? And the purple piece helped me a lot because, like, if I need my teacher say read this story, but I didn't know how to read it in English, and even in Portuguese because I came here early. I was in Brazil. I was still learning how to read, so that was really difficult. But now I know English more than Portuguese. Way more. I'm forgetting the words in Portuguese. I am. Then.
All right, next question. How has using tools helped you to become more confident in your learning? And I'm going to start off with Bella, because I know you've definitely connected with this question.
By focusing and doing it right and taking my time and not being frustrated.
So you're more confident because you're able to take time, you're not getting frustrated. And what else? You said something else at the beginning.
And
You understand it better.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Okay. How about Giovanna?
Yes.
More confident using tools.
It's because
How does it make you feel like you're learning?
Luciana, do you know
Oh,
how?
I know one. Is the purple piece help me make friends because if I didn't know purple piece, I was still don't know English, so I didn't make friends, and I need to make friends to be confident. If I don't be alone in the recess, because that's sad. Yeah.
But when you would get something that your teacher asked you to read, and then you would put it in the purple puzzle piece,
That will make me confident because I know what I'm reading about and I know what I need to write about.
Stefano, do you have anything to add? How have you become more confident using the tools that you have at school for your work?
Like language art, that's like easy for me because we need to read a book, but we don't read it, so we listen the person that is reading, and we need to write something that we notice or wonder on the book.
And so how were you able to do that with tools at school? Like your computer?
And also the computer of my teacher read it for us, and I hear it, so I know what words they are saying. I read it on my head.
Do you, when your teacher asks you to type things, do you type in English or Spanish?
I just type on English.
In English? Do you use, do you have that tool where it has you guess the next word?
No, so I read it with hand. I don't read it on computer. I read it on a book, so what I notice or what I wonder.
All right, Miss Luciana, would you like to answer this? How are you more confident with the tools you're using in school, and how do they make you learn?
Using tools is become more confident because if I use the tools, I can like do my work and understand it and then do it. If I don't use tools, like I don't know, and then I will go into learning, and then it's good.
Okay, we will move on to our next question. So our next question is, how have your teachers and other students reacted to using technology in your learning? So kind of what do your teachers do maybe that helps you with using technology, or other students in your class, what do they say or do when they notice that you're using technology?
How am I gonna know that?
What?
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can start.
How am I gonna know that? Like,
What if your teachers?
Do your teachers help you with your technology in your classroom when you're learning things?
Stefano has something. Do you want to have him start, and then you can?
yeah.
Perfect.
But can I be second?
Okay.
So I don't use like a phone when I am doing my work. So when my teacher says that we need to use the computer, I use it. And when we need to do the apps on the computer, I use it. So I don't use any technology except the computer of my computer.
Thank you, Stefano. Do you want to go next?
Yeah. And so the students, when they see me use the computer, they're like, wow, how does she do that? Like, and then the rest of the other students want to try it too, because it might help them learn better.
I love. So you inspire your students or your classmates.
Yeah.
Love that. How has Eric responded to you using tools?
He's like positive and he likes it.
Eric, do you want to? Can I ask you how has Bella's confidence learning? What have you noticed since Bella's been using tools?
It's been an interesting progression. In the beginning, it was a fun distraction, right? And technology you stick on a kid's desk, and if you don't support them the right way, it doesn't ever get used, and it's just something to play around on. But Bella was super motivated in learning how to kind of put her voice on the questions and the journal questions too. And she just kept pushing at it, and it allowed not only for me to kind of see what she was capable of, but also to be able to communicate that to the other teachers in the room, because they were the ones grading the material and stuff. you know. So it was kind of awesome how she took it on herself and became her own best advocate, right? Yeah. So it was a huge advocacy piece for her.
Amazing. Thank you.
How have your teacher and other students' reaction? I don't know the students, but I know the teacher.
Does your teacher help you use technology?
Yeah, my teacher helped me get in the computer like when it's a new app that no one get in. The teacher said get in this app, and I don't know where it is. She helped me.
Did she show you how to use it to help you with
Yeah.
English?
She showed me in the classroom have a camera and the paper is right here. So she teach the computer and have a camera watching. So in the board, everyone is watching what you do.
And that helps you?
Yeah, it helps me a lot because when I get in the app and see a lot of buttons, I see, what's that button for? And I want to press all of it because almost all buttons are red. And then, I don't know why, but I like to press a red button, so.
I can't imagine why you press all the red buttons. So one of the things that I love about the tool in the app is that when a teacher is given the assignment in Google Docs or whatever to type up the assignment, everybody's working on the same thing, right? And what's great about whether it's our second language learners or our students that are struggling in school, they have a tool that is just ubiquitous, right? It's just laying there and nobody knows that they're using it. So as they're typing and you have the text help app, the purple puzzle piece that they can click on, then it's giving them predictive text that can help them with their writing. And the kid next to them has no idea that they're using it, right? So there's not going to be that difference. There's not going to be that singling out. And so, number one, it helps them with accessibility. But then number two, it really boosts confidence because kids are just writing and nobody even knows that that's happening, right? So I think that's one of the biggest things. And I also want to go back to the translanguaging piece. And both of these guys, all three of these guys, transition between English and Spanish all the time on their Chromebooks, and I think that that's really valuable when it comes to learning the second language. So they're seeing it in English, they're seeing it in Spanish, they're transitioning between both of them, and I think that's why we have students that have been here for only a couple of years that are quite fluent in English, both in reading and writing, and in speaking and listening. So I really think that that's one of the tools that has helped bridge that, not because of any spectacular teacher moves as much as they're able to advocate for their own learning in toggling between both languages. So,
Thank you.
Luciana had something she wanted to add about other kids in her classroom.
When I was in school, the teacher put the app in my computer, and then I use it, and and the kids say, the student says what is that app? What are you using your computer? And then the kids say and then I say the teacher put this app to use it to speak English and learn English. And the kids say, oh.
Thank you, Luciana. Okay, moving on to our next question. Are there tools you are using at school that you also use at home?
I think we had Bella first on that one.
Which one?
We had Bella first on that.
Okay, so let's go Giovanna, and then we'll go around. I love that everyone wanted to answer that question, though.
The tool that I use at home is a paper piece sometimes. Because, when I buy a book, that looks really fun to read, but it's in English or Spanish. I just come on, why they don't make good good books in Portuguese too. That's not fair. But I use the reading. I forgot the name. Purple Bees, because then I can just read. Yeah, I can just read in Portuguese.
So Giovanna, do you speak Portuguese and English and also Spanish?
A little bit of Spanish, but yes.
Okay, thank you. And why don't we go to Bella next, and then we'll do Stefano. And Luciana, you'll round out the end, okay?
Yeah.
Are there tools you use, you are using at school that you also use at home?
Just my iPod.
Your iPod you use a lot?
Mm-hmm.
You have an iPhone as well, right?
Just my iPod.
Your iPod. Okay, perfect. And how do you use that tool at home, kind of similarly to how you use it in school?
So if I want to watch a video, I ask the internet to help me watch a video.
Can you speak into the mic for that?
So I use YouTube and I speak into the mic, and so it helps me find the show I want.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stefano, are there tools you are using?
I use my library books to practice my reading, and I use my computer.
Do you have some of your library books on the computer? Or do you just use...
No, I have the library books on hand, so I don't have it on the computer. I read it by English only.
One tool that I use in my home is practice with my phone, because I use Duolingo, and then two with my friends, because some of my friends speaks English, then like talk to me, and then I practice to understand.
So when you're using Duolingo at home, is it just you that uses it, or are there other people that help you use it?
Just me.
Just you?
Yep.
Amber, you want to take the next question?
Yes. Okay, our next question, I think this might be, sometimes learning to use new tools can be hard. So how did you learn to use the tools that you're using? Do you want to go first, Giovanna?
Yes, always.
Okay. How did you learn to use tools?
And the first thing that I use, I didn't know how to do nothing because the teacher told me how, but I forgot in 1 second after. So when I don't know that stuff, I click it on the thing and I test it all the time so I know which is which to do.
So did your teacher have to show you how to use it the first time, and then you learned how to use it?
Yeah, the first time, but then I forgot which is which do, and I said, oh gosh. But then I practice, I test all of it at the same time. Not at the same time because that's impossible. I test a lot of, and I see what they did. So now I know almost everything because, how I told you guys, the things that go in my head go to the other side, get out to the other side. Some stay, some get out.
Who taught you how to use tools at school?
The teacher.
Okay, what did your teacher do to show you how to use tools?
First she put it in my computer, and then she helped me how to use it. And then I not remember so good. Then I practiced in my home, and one of my friends helped me to use it. How to use it.
Okay. Want to go next, Bella?
Yeah. So learning tools, he had to show me how to do it on the computer so I know how to do it. So voice my game, I have to learn how to do it and use the tools.
Eric helped you learn that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said you were very motivated to do it yourself. So then after he showed you, did you practice and practice? And now you're like an expert.
Yeah.
Stefano?
She teach me she said to me how to use the purple puzzle piece, but I don't use it I don't use it every time. I use it sometimes because I use more my practicing on English or saying words in English to communicate with other people.
So that's a good question. I'm going to go a little rogue. What I noticed and what I heard from your teachers is that you were using the tool more a while ago, and now you don't use it as much. And Stefano, you were just talking about that, right? Like you were using the tools to help you speak English and understand English, but now you don't use it as much. Is that true? Can you tell us a little bit more about that? That was a very vague question. I'm sorry.
But I don't use the tools too much, so I use more speaking with teachers or friends that speak English. So when I am playing and somebody wants to play with me, I need to speak English first to tell that person that he can play with me or not.
But when you're learning really hard stuff, like in Wit and Wisdom, is it easier for you to maybe sometimes go to the purple puzzle piece?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Bella, what about you, Bella and Eric? Have you noticed that you were using the tool a lot? Do you still use it the same amount, or have you like mastered it?
Kind of less. Like, I don't use it every day. I just use it sometimes when I need it.
Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
Bella's still missing a motor skill for the handwriting piece, right? Like, so that may not be a part of the scaffolding that she ever overcomes. So a lot of times once kids enter the workforce or they get out of public school, they may wind up with some more functional device that they can carry around with them to use to put their information out there for other people. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Amber, you want to take the next one?
Okay, our next question, maybe. Can we go to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so how have tools helped you prepare for your future? I think we'll start with Bella on this one because I know she was excited about it.
To me?
Yeah, how have tools helped prepare you for the future?
So it's gonna help me work better at work and stay more connected with my friends and stuff.
So I know when we were chatting about it, we were talking about emailing and doing different types of things like that to help keep you connected. What else might help you keep connected with your friends and with your work?
Use more technology more.
What's the biggest tool you use in technology? Would it be the speech to text? Mm-hmm. Do you do anything else? I think that's your biggest one, right? Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. How have tools helped prepare you for the future?
Will prepare me to the future because in the future I need to do something. So I want to be a teacher. If I want to be a teacher, I need to talk English and other language, or I need the tools. So that's what's going to prepare me to the future because I want to learn to do a teacher.
Stefano, do you have thoughts about that? I know you have big thoughts for the future and what you want to do, right? So how have the tools that you've been using in school helped you to prepare?
Like, it helped me, like, for prepare for 5th and 6th and high school to, so if I finish my high school and my other teams, I can be on the army or teacher or be a cooker.
The purple piece helped me before, like the teacher said, guys, you need to like learn about like whatever that is, because it's gonna be in the test. So you guys need to learn something about it. So I need to read it for like know what's gonna be in the test. So I don't know really how to read. I know how to read a lot.
So what if you said you were going to wanted to be maybe a veterinarian? Do you think that there's something that you're learning in school or tools that you're using that would help you be a veterinarian?
Yes,
Like
physics.
Physics?
I mean
Science?
Come on.
Is there something that, like, do you think learning how to communicate in English will help you be a veterinarian?
Yeah.
How?
Because
Do you need to communicate with people if you're a veterinarian?
yeah.
Why do you think that's important?
Because I need to know what's wrong with the dog or cat or giraffe.
Love that. Zoologist.
Sorry.
Bless you. Did everybody answer that question? Perfect, yeah. Okay, next question, please. Our next question. Well, we're actually really great on time, and really what I think we've definitely given our students a voice, and I'm really so happy about that, and I really appreciate all of your perspectives. But I would really love to hear from our two teachers on the stage, just a little bit about your student journeys, your approach, why this is important to have the kiddos here, all of that great stuff. And we can kind of piggyback off of it if you would like.
So I think, and I think what I've learned, even just listening to these guys, and I've worked with them quite a bit, these guys are able to advocate for themselves. And I think that's what learning about the tools that they have at their disposal to be able to advocate for their own learning. We want that for all students, right? Not just our language learners, not just our struggling learners. We want to have all of our students be able to advocate for themselves, whether that's the purple puzzle piece or Google Translate or whatever other tool that they have at their disposal. We want them to be able to advocate for themselves. And I have to appreciate Stefano. He is, I don't know if you notice, he's fiercely independent. And he's like, no, I use English. I read it in English. Nope, I learn it by myself. And I love that. And yet, he also is able to, as well as the other guys, they're able to, when they can't and when they don't, they're able to like go, okay, instead of just kind of falling over and going, I don't know and I'm just going to give up on learning, they have access to tools and they know to go up in the Chrome extension, they know to go to those different tools and say, here's the toolbar that's going to be able to help me to get access to the curriculum that I need to. And they know that. And that's what I love. That's the power of teachers in the classroom that are able to give them access to tools that can help level the playing field when they need it, right?
Yeah, I like that answer. One of my happiest memories is walking into the classroom, and after lunch we do chores. One of the students in my class is completely illiterate, and he's a leader, and so he was pulling his phone out to take a picture of somebody else's chore that they were supposed to be doing after lunch, and then telling that person what it was. And for me, who I just consider myself just a piece of scaffolding, right? Like, I don't want to be there. I want these guys to have all the tools, whether it's something that's inside of their body or that's in their pocket, to be able to walk through the world in a way that makes them feel like they can give assistance to their peers and to feel like their own best self-advocates. And that's when I see that and I'm like, I don't even exist, that's the happiest day for me.
I love that both of you talked about self-advocacy, because it's definitely has shown today on this stage. I am wondering, yes, yeah, perfect, thank you. We just have, I mean, this is pretty much, we're going to wrap it up, but what I would love to ask each of our students on the stage is just tell us one thing about you that you would like us to remember. And maybe we'll just start with Stefano. Stefano, what would you like us to know about you?
You hear that, Luciana?
Anything.
One thing about yourself that you want to tell us.
Hopes, dreams. This is this is also a rogue question, so.
So I think I will be a successful teacher when I finish my high school.
Thank you. Bella?
I'm going to be a more powerful person.
I love that. Luciana?
I don't know.
Really close to your mouth so I can hear you.
I don't know.
Just one thing about yourself. What do you want us to remember if you see all these people and you don't see them again? What do you want them to know about you?
I love music.
You love music?
You love music. Me too. And Giovanna?
Can I tell 2 things?
Sure,
Or
Giovanna.
4, 5, 100?
2, please.
I'm really curious if someone's... Okay, personally, I'm another person telling another person like... Okay, can I hear? Can you tell again? I want to see what you're talking about. And another thing, I'm crazy.
You're not crazy. Crazy
I
awesome.
am. When I want.
She is a little bit. She does want to know if there's anybody in the house that speaks Portuguese, because she really wants to practice her Portuguese and talk with somebody who speaks Portuguese. So if you do, come and find Giovanna. She wants to chat. So.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. Can we just give our panelists a big round of applause? You were so brave, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Amber, do you want to say any last minute words?
No, I just, it's been really cool being able to get to know them more and understand how their learning has been impacted by teachers who cared and made a difference and cared to help them learn these tools. We've heard a variety of things that they use, a variety of ways that they want to use them in their future, and it's just been really cool to hear how it kind of started with teachers that noticed that there was something else that they could do, that they could help these kids. And I am trying to keep that perspective while we're working on things, and at a state level, it's one of our biggest focuses for this upcoming year. We got a bunch of data back about our MLL students that is super concerning. So that's one thing that we're working on too, is just what is it that we can do in our classrooms and with teachers and to make that impact and to help these students learn and grow and achieve more. So thanks for coming to our session.
Thank you, everybody.